fight was. You know what I mean, Joe Frazier. We're here to break down another fight, potential matchup, because this fight has yet to be contracted yet or finalized. Keith one-time Thurman defending his WBA welterweight belt against Shawn Showtime Porter. Now, when this fight actually does get finalized, it will be another Al Heyman stable fight, so that means it should be free on PBC. Taking a closer look at Keith one-time Thurman, his record stands an unblemished 26-0. He's 5'7" with a 69-inch reach, currently holding the WBA welterweight strap. His most notable wins are against Luis Collazo, who he stopped in the 7th round, and Robert the Ghost Guerrero, who went all 12 but lost in a decision. Now, looking at Shawn Showtime Porter, his record is 26-1-1, 16 knockouts. He actually lost to Brook, and I believe he drew with Julio Diaz, if I'm not mistaken. He's standing at 5'7" and also has a 69.5-inch reach. And his most notable fights are a loss to Kell Brook, Special K Brook, where he lost his belt, and a win against Adrian Broner at a catchweight. I'm really not even sure if he took the belt that Adrian had at the time. I'm really not sure how that works out. Now, the winner of this could potentially end up fighting Kell Brook. He's that kind of at the top of the division with the best record right now. And, I mean, even if Porter won, I really couldn't see him having a rematch with Kell Brook. But you never know. Now, taking a closer look, this is a very close matchup on paper. Both the guys are virtually the same height, basically have the same record, except for the two notables on Porter's record. Both have been struggling with weight. Both of these guys are maybe 160, 154 naturally, who've been coming down to 147. And Porter actually came down to some type of weird catch weight to fight Adrian Broner last year. Same arm reach, same height, and it's a really tough fight to call on paper. But taking a deeper look at Thurman, I mean, Thurman is going to be the stronger guy. He hits really hard. He has a great understanding of his fundamentals. On the bad side, me personally, I feel like he telegraphs his punches. And he's lacking in the speed department. Thurman is not the fastest guy, but he can bang, he can crack, man. So, I mean, if you're going to sit in the pocket with him, he's going to get you out of there. Now, taking another look at Porter, a closer look, he's a fast starter. Him and his dad usually have a great game plan, but he has yet to show us that he is a true boxer. I mean, he's very aggressive. He comes forward. He has some great upper body movement. I'm looking at the cons of the bad side of Porter. I'm not sure about how sturdy his chin is. I mean, even though he beat Broner, I feel like Broner beat himself. And actually, Broner did have a flash knockdown in, I believe, what was the 12th round against Showtime. Now, if Thurman lands that type of left hook, it was a left hook, check hook, I believe, that knocked Porter down. If Thurman was to catch Porter like that, I don't know if he's going to get up. Straight up. I do not know if the guy's going to get up off the canvas. And the thing that makes this, I'm leaning towards Thurman right now, is the fact that Porter has no real power. He's not the guy that's going to go in there and destroy you, you know. Some people might actually be referencing the Paul Malignaggi fight. He made quick work of Paul Malignaggi, but Paul Malignaggi is way past his prime. And Paul was like a 126, 130 guy who's fighting at a blown-up weight of 147. I mean, Porter should have won that fight, and he should have won it in that fashion against a guy like Paul Malignaggi. So I can't factor that in when I'm looking at this type of matchup. But my official prediction is going to be Thurman by stoppage. and I'm feeling real good about that. Thurman by stoppage. I don't think that Porter is going to be able to deal with the kind of power that Thurman has. I don't think, looking at Porter's resume, he's fought anybody with that type of real power that Thurman has. Thurman is a strong guy, man, and it's going to take a skilled boxer to take that all away from him, and I don't think this is the fight that we're going to see that at. So my official prediction for the Keith one-time Thurman versus Showtime Shawn Porter is going to be Keith Thurman by stoppage. All right, folks, tune in. Let me know how you feel about that. I know it's going to be some Porter fans that might be leaving some comments. But you know what? That's how I feel, man. I mean, the guy... And you know what, really, when I'm looking at his record, it's the fact that he has a draw against Diaz. Diaz was almost completely washed up, and you struggled with him. He beat him in the rematch, but it's the fact that you struggled with him the first time that makes me a little suspicious. And then the loss against Kell Brook, because I watched that fight, and Kell Brook looked great. He looked fantastic. But looking at Porter, it was no adjustments being made in that fight to swing the tide of the momentum of the fight. He came out doing the same thing, just being aggressive. Even the Broner fight, I mean, the guy just kept coming forward, following Broner around. And actually, I thought that Broner won that fight on the cards. But it's neither here nor there. You know, on the official record, it's an L. So, all right, fans, tune in. Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. 1.